Joining me now is a former UFC flyweight fighter who is coming off a first-round TKO win at a Gladiator Challenge event this past weekend. He won the flyweight title with the first-round TKO. It was his first win since July 2016. It is Louis, the Last Samurai Smolka, back on the program. Louis, how's it going?
What's up, Nick?
Not too much. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time. I appreciate it. Just a few days out from your recent victory. First things first, what did it feel like to finally get back into the winning column? Of course, your last win was that TKO win over Ben Nguyen in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You walked into enemy territory, got the job done. You had a rough stretch in the latter part of your UFC run. What emotion-wise, just as far as how it all felt, what was it like finally getting back into the W column?
Oh, it's great, man. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's I feel better, I feel like I still kind of got it, you know what I mean? I'm not I kind of feel like the momentum's going the right way again. I'm not as feel like I'm not as anxious.
Does it feel like you don't have as much pressure on your shoulders just because you don't, now that you're into the winning column again, it's not like every fight is going to be do or die. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's just it's kind of weird. Once you start losing and you're on a losing streak, you kind of start there's a lot of doubt. It's going through your head. It's what's wrong? What happened? What changed? What's wrong with me? Why can't I win anymore? And that feeling's kind of gone now. It just I feel a lot better in general.
You're a happier person. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Got the smile on your face and everything's good. How have you celebrated? How did you celebrate on Saturday night? What's it been like these past couple days? I assume just relaxing mostly?
Yeah, I got to come home, see my daughter, see my family. That's a lot for me. See my fiance. I feel a lot better. I ate a good amount. Everybody that came out and supported me, we went and ate, and then just came home, and I went back to the gym today, got some work in, sweated a little bit, and I'm ready to go again. I'm excited to fight again. I want to get back in the UFC.
And so you're in Hawaii now, back home in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember when we talked back in February, did you tell me that your family didn't move with you to California, did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
It was just me and Russell up there.
Right. Yeah, because I remember reading an article that actually said your family came with you, but I remember thinking that's not what I remember hearing. But nonetheless,
not yet. That didn't happen
okay,
yet.
so maybe what I was thinking of, the plan is for them to come eventually. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. What was it like? Gladiator Challenge, fairly well-known show down in California when you're talking about regional MMA, but when it compares to the UFC, it's quite a bit smaller scale. What was it like, having the weigh-ins that just less production value, not as bright lights? What was that like after, 10 fights in the UFC?
Yeah, it's different. It's a lot different. I just try to a lot of the amenities aren't there. They don't provide certain things for you. You're driving around to and from weigh-ins. I think the weigh-ins and stuff, and the venue was an hour and a half away from where we were. With UFC production, it's unheard of. You're driving 20, 30 minutes maybe. The hotel is fairly close. Everything is fairly centralized, localized. So it's definitely different. Just all the travel, all that stuff. It kind of reminds me a lot of those stories of Matt Hughes and stuff, and Jeremy Horn and all that, where they would drive for days and go fight one fight on one weekend, and the next Sunday fight somewhere else or whatever. Drive all night, go do that. Dude, that's how I felt. Some pioneer MMA stuff, man. That's just wild.
Yeah, we're going back 15 years, circa 2003, 5, whatever. It's kind of crazy how it must have felt a little bizarre going almost back in time, just because when you first got into MMA, of course, everyone starts from square one. Everyone starts on that local circuit where you don't get to fight week, sign posters, do 10 interviews, get a per diem of $1,000 or whatever. It must have felt a little bizarre kind of going back, not quite to square one, but in that direction a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of going back in time a little. It's definitely, the UFC experience is definitely, it's a lot better, just bigger shows in general, doing the fight week, flying in, meeting people, talking and stuff. When I was with PXC before, that was still a fairly organized promotion. like Pacific Extreme Combat, they fly you out like a week early. You're in a hotel, saunas and things are provided. They shuttle you around. There's some media to do, you know. Like it's definitely different, you know.
Was it difficult to enjoy the fight week or whatever? I mean, the days leading up to your last fight on Saturday?
Oh no, I mean, I was just focused on getting the weight down, you know. Just like every fight week, in my opinion, you kind of just sitting around like looking at a scale, waiting for the number to go down. That's how my fight weeks go.
Was the cut at all tougher than usual? I mean, you're a pretty big flyweight. It's never easy, I'd imagine, but was it at all tougher or just pretty usual?
This is a pretty big one. I could have maybe gotten a little bit lighter. I might have mistimed a few things, but yeah, overall, it's pretty average.
Is that sort of just come down to you miscalculated some things, or did you get a bit heavy after your last fight in the UFC, or what can you sort of
I just miscalculated a few things.
Okay.
I just cut out carbs a bit later than I should have and all that. You know, it's just a new system and stuff. It's just a few little creases, like little wrinkles that need to be ironed out. Very minor things.
What was it like not having your longtime manager, Jason House, there leading up to the fight, at the fight, cornering you, after the fight, all of that, just because he was in Atlantic City for the UFC cornering or taking care of, another Iridium client, Ricky Simone, who's making his UFC debut? Was it, I know you did have someone from the Iridium team there, so it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but was it a little different not having Jason there?
I felt disrespected. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Like me and Jason, like we have a pretty good relationship. He knows what I need. He knows, he's really close with Team Oyama. You know, it was off of his recommendation that I went there. He had one of his guys, Jacob. Jacob was around there with us, Jacob Parga. He was there, filling in as the manager role, taking care of me, making calls, making sure things are being taken care of, talking to promoters, whatever, making sure I have my fluids and all that, rides. And Lucy, what's wrong? Sorry, my daughter's a little upset. It's okay, Lucy.
Father things, right?
Yeah, she's okay. Yeah, my fiance's over here running around taking care of her right now. Let me see. Okay, but sorry, where was I? Jacob. He took care of us very well. Jason, he's got a really good system. He knows how to take care of his clients. He does it very well. I mean, it wasn't too bad. You kind of miss the dude and whatever, but we talked enough during fight week, and it's cool. I see enough of him regularly.
I mean, you have been living with him the past few months, anyway. So.
I've been going between there and Team Oyama's fighter house. So okay. You see enough of the dude.
Got to get away from him a little bit. One weekend at the very least.
Yeah. See enough.
As far as the actual fight, so you were supposed to fight a man by the name of Rafael going into it, and she pulled out last minute. From what you know, okay, which might not be the full story, from your perspective, what exactly happened? How did you end up fighting someone different?
I thought I was fighting Ralph Acosta.
Okay.
He's a pretty good dude. I think he's 18-12. Some websites have it a little different, but I mean, he has a win over Marlon Rice. I thought it was a legit fight. I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a real one. And my daughter's over here going nuts. Lucy, calm down. And I don't know, I'm not really too sure what happened, but we came to the venue to give them the ticket money, and they told us he pulled out, and we were like, what the fuck? The weigh-ins and stuff to give him the ticket money, and he pulled out. He told us he pulled out, and I was just like, what the fuck? But when you find that out, sorry for interrupting, what goes through your head? Do you instantly think, okay, I'm not fighting tomorrow, or were you sort of confident they would find you someone else? They kind of, I'm not sure how long they knew because they already had a replacement guy. They're like, you're not fighting, but we got this guy, so you still have a fight. And I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't really know what was going on. We couldn't figure out who the guy was. He didn't have a shirt on, nothing. We were just like, what the fuck is going on? And then we got to the venue, and it was a different guy. Oh my god, dude, it was wild.
Wow. So I guess you had no time at all. I mean, you said he didn't have a Sherdog page or anything, so not like you really could have prepared, but you didn't really have time to change up your game plan anyway. So was this this must have been the first time in a while that you went into a fight knowing pretty much nothing about your opponent and just having to focus on what you can do?
Yeah, like that was basically it. Like it was just like figure this out, ready, set, go. I was like, oh man. Came out southpaw for a second. I was like, what the fuck?
Was
But
that
yeah,
difficult? I mean, different, but was it easy to adjust?
I just tried to take him down. Once you're on the ground, I felt pretty good. Bucked a lot. He was pretty strong, so I just tried to hold him for a little bit, and yeah, it was.
Okay.
I tried to do what I could do. I felt good. I heard my coaches, my corners, Coach Ron Turner, Coach Colin Oyama, like they were just telling me what to do. Like they're just like, okay, hold him there. All right, watch for the cross face. Kind of peel this. Okay, good, nice pass. Hold him. He's gonna buck again. Like just stuff like that. I was like, all right, okay, just listen and kind of just try to do your best.
So then, as far as the first round TKO, how did that come about? Walk me through the finish, just because I don't know if this was aired anywhere on a website or anything, but I personally have not seen it.
I just kind of took him down, passed him out, hit him a few times, and they stopped it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any surprises? I know you knew nothing about him going in, so you weren't really too sure
Said
what
he
to
came
expect.
off southpaw, though. I was just kind of
Okay.
like, what? I was like, oh, what are the odds of this? I guess it's 1 in 10, right?
Yeah. Do you think you did enough to get back to the UFC right away? I know when we spoke in February, it seemed like the matchmakers had said 1 or 2 fights, you win them both, and you have a spot on the flyweight UFC roster. Do you think you did enough, or are you planning on taking 1 or 2 more?
If they need somebody, like, I'm ready. I'm here. Like, if you guys need somebody short notice, I'm ready to go.
Okay. But you haven't spoken to them since the fight, have you?
I know Jason was talking to them. I think that was
Okay.
half the reason he was in Atlantic City was to talk to Sean and Mick and stuff, on my behalf, like, depending on what happened.
Right. I guess it was good timing in that regard, because we don't have UFC for the next 3 weekends, and so having Jason there for the last UFC till middle of May, having your fight on the same day, that was good timing.
Yeah, that was definitely nice. I mean, like it was good that he was there. I mean, he's always there though. Like when I was hanging out, he's always there. He always goes out. Talks to the bosses and stuff. He's
Yeah.
always on the scene, like taking care of his dude that's fighting. Talking to whoever. Shaking hands, kissing babies, all that.
Would you consider fighting for a different organization? Say Bellator says to you next week, Louis, we want to sign you. They don't have a flyweight division, but say we want to build the flyweight division around you. We want you to move up to bantamweight. Something. I mean, hey, if Bellator had a flyweight division, do you take that? Do you sign with Bellator?
I think it would be ridiculous. I think it'd be stupid of me to not hear them out.
Okay.
Like I'd definitely be willing to listen to people. There's no harm in that. I mean, see what they have in mind. I mean, if somebody wants to like buy my soul right now, I'm willing to sell it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of. I mean, my soul is kind of expensive, like. But yeah.
But it's not 100% attached to UFC. That's not Although that's the maybe ideal situation, it's not the only thing you're out there for.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like, I mean, I kind of have a lot on my plate right now with like switching teams and stuff, and like, I don't know if somebody wanted to give me some signing bonuses, or like, I don't know, one of these promotions want to hook me up with some big sponsors or whatever the case might be. I'd definitely be willing to hear them out.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be willing to think about things.
The unfortunate part is that PFL, has a very appealing offer with, we've seen actually their roster was released just recently, and they have a lot of good talent.
Strong.
Yeah,
Their
it
roster-
is. The unfortunate part for you is that they're not doing flyweights, I don't
Yeah,
think.
they're not. We tried to talk to them.
Did you?
I think they're not going below 45 or something like that. So
Yeah, I don't think so. That's unfortunate. I guess that's the bad. I mean, I'm sure we've talked in the past about fans not enjoying or caring about flyweights and bandweights, and I guess some promotions don't, which sucks.
feel disrespected, bro. I feel sad.
As far as what is next, say you don't get the UFC call for your next fight, maybe a fight after. Do you fight for Gladiator Challenge again? Find a different local promotion? Any ideas?
I don't know. Jason's working on it already. He just told me to stay light. I don't know. Hopefully something comes up within the next week or so. I mean, I'm good to go. I'm over here. I'm trying to get my family situated so we can move and stuff, and I'm ready to go.
When do you hope that moving process starts? Soon?
Yeah, I'm already gonna start making some calls, figure out what we're gonna do at this house, maybe like sell my car and stuff. I'm already trying to figure all that out.
So would you not want to fight for the next little while, just while you get that sorted out, or
I
if
mean,
they
I'll
say,
do either. Like,
okay,
I don't know, dude. After all the crap I've been through, like, just
yeah.
like, yeah, I don't care. I'll do whatever at this point.
Say, I mean, you get a call for end of May, you take that fight?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as right away, do you just sort of work, stay with your family, hang out with your family, get the move underway, and sort of wait for a contract?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to set everything up, get all my ducks in a row and stuff, get everybody and get everything situated for the move, because I'm not really trying to spend too much time away from my daughter again.
Right.
Like, when I left, she wasn't like I came back and she's like a kid now. Like, she's not even a baby anymore. And I didn't see her for 3 months, and that was ridiculously long to me. So I'm not really willing to do that again.
So as long as everything works out next time you go to California, you'll be with the family?
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's the plan.
Well, Louis, is there anything else you want to say? I feel like I covered everything as far as the past, present, and future. Is there anything else you want to say?
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, man.
Yes,
thank
go ahead.
My Alma and stuff. They helped me out a lot. I mean, I'd like to thank all my sponsors, the Fanhoy, Skeevy. They sent me some stuff. I haven't seen Jeff in a minute, but Jeff is the man. Jeff Metcalf. Who else? Virus, A6, Fernando, Serratos. Like, bro, he's the shit too. G Fuel, Defense Soap. Who else? Yeah, man, just Milk and Eggs, dude. Milk and Eggs is pretty cool too. They helped out a lot. Yeah, man, just thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's helped me out.
And plug your social media as well while you're at it.
Last Samurai, UFC, because I'm not taking that off yet until something else happens. But yeah, it just sounds weird. I don't know, man. Taking that off of my name sounds odd to me.